look back at the film, anything tangible defensively that you feel like is most critical for you all tonight to try to wrap your hands around the game?
Yeah, we could have been better on that end. Credit them, they made some plays and they made some shots too, but I thought for every shot that they made that was tough, they missed some good looks that were off of our breakdowns. In some of our coverages, I just thought we were uncharacteristically loose. Some of that's the way they're playing and the confidence and flow that they've got going offensively right now. But we need to be better if we want to control the game. Obviously, we were able to get the win last night, but we needed like a monster offensive night to do that. And if we want to have more control over the outcome, we have to defend better tonight and rebound.
Who else we got? Go ahead, Riley.
Mark, what are some of the toughest challenges about this game on the second night of back-to-back against the same team?
There's no tough challenges because it's the same. It's equal playing field. So whatever the challenges are exist for both teams, and then it just becomes about who handles them better. So there's no excuse that we have that they don't. So we just got to go out there and be the better team if we want to win.
What have you seen from Alex Caruso when it comes to like integrating into the system? And it seems like he's been a really good connective playmaker for you.
He's been really good. He's early in the season I thought it was a tough adjustment because it's a new system for him. He's played in multiple different systems, so he's not like a blank canvas. And then he was playing a lot of five, because of our circumstances early, and so he didn't really get integrated at his natural position. And then he obviously had some injuries, so he's now getting that, and I think you're seeing that in his decisiveness, his rhythm, and the impact that he's having on the offensive end. The defense speaks for itself, but offensively he's done a great job, and I thought down the stretch of the game last night, between the threes he made and then they put their 5-man on him when we went small, and his ability to kind of get us to the next thing and get us organized was like Hartenstein and Jay Will. So he did a great job last night. He's coming along.
What's the preparation like for a player like Naz Reid, who does so many different things, different positions, can go outside, inside, just kind of all the things he can throw at you?
He's a handful. He's a handful. He's like Towns. He's like Jaren Jackson offensively. In that those guys they're physical loads, and they're also great shooters. And so he's a really dynamic offensive player. Between the shooting, the driving, the off-ball movement, he moves really well off the ball. He got cracks against us off ball last night for a couple shots. One of them didn't go down, that it was a really clean look. One didn't go down late off a back screen that he shot, it was in and out. And then he made one, in the first half, in the second quarter on a pin down. So really dynamic. He's a really good player, and he makes the right plays too. You throw two at him, and he's moving the ball out of there. So I've been very impressed with him, and we need to do a better job on him, obviously, if we want to again control the game.
With Aaron this year, he's had an uptick in just production and frequency from three. In the past couple seasons, he hasn't shot more than 2 a game. He's up to like 4 now.
Yep.
What are those conversations sort of like? Because I can't imagine it's as simple as you were shooting over 50% last year. We need to shoot more. Is there certain spots, or what are you wanting from him?
It kind of was that simple in the off season. It's when a guy shoots that well on low attempts, he's telling you that he can handle more, or at least it's worth exploring. And we've done that with a number of guys. Like Dub, wasn't in a creator role initially, but he was so efficient in the system stuff that they just kind of start banging on the door. And so with Wiggs, we talked about it in the offseason, wanting that and needing that for the team, and being willing to take a little bit of a step back in terms of the percentage to get more volume, and allowing that to net out. It's unlocked our ability to use him in different ways, and then we've started to put him on the move a little bit more. You've seen him, fly off some off-ball stuff, and he also can drive it. He's really put it all together very nicely. He's playing great for us right now.
Since Friday, you guys have been able to do double bigs, single bigs, and go small. What is that versatility going to do for your defense?
Well, we're obviously not a finished product with a lot of stuff. So we're still working through it. The double big specifically, like I've said, is in the infant stages, and infant stages in terms of the guys understanding how that impacts how it feels on the floor, because it is different, and then understanding in terms of our understanding of what we need to work on, what we need to emphasize, and what the trade-offs are. And we're just not far along, with that at all. We've got to, continue to invest in that and see what the returns tell us, so to speak, and continue to just try to tick it forward, because it is something that's a weapon, but we have other weapons. We know Chet at the 5 and what that can do for us on both ends. We know Hartstein without another big out there, what that does. We know Jay Will. We know what Small does for us. Obviously, that was very effective for us last night. So we're just going to continue to rotate through that stuff and invest in all that stuff, because we want to have the full menu available, as we come out of the regular season.
Just kind of following up on that, I mean, the way that your players look at this and look at the season, is there, I guess, a level of engagement that they've had throughout the year with all of these different iterations? And you could imagine some team that has been healthy all year maybe feeling like they're running into a brick wall at a certain point in the season. Is it I know you want to have everybody healthy, but just the way that you guys look at it, is it kind of this great opportunity for mental engagement in that thing at this point?
Yeah, I think it keeps you engaged. It keeps you sharp. I do agree with that. But we also invite it even when we're healthy. I mean, we're healthy right now, and we're still, throwing a gauntlet of things out there, and putting ourselves in that situation to test ourselves. And the guys, have done a great job of adapting to that over time. We've got a group of players that have kind of existed in that ecosystem for years now, and have learned how to thrive in that, understand the advantages of it, so they're not resistant to it. I think it's made them more adaptive and tougher in a lot of ways. And so it's been really good for us. And when you get injured and you have to do it out of weakness, it feels like less of a jolt. And when you're at full strength, it gives you a lot of optionality. So it's been great for us.
Anybody else? Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thanks.
Thanks, Mark.